this shit wavy. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, where you better tune in. You can see the picture, all you gotta do is zoom in. You in your man cave, it's no time for your girlfriend. They talk about the Sixers and how the Sixers gon' win. If they take your loss, they gon' hear BG going in. Jenny from the block, that's a lot. They was up 10, now they down 5. You can see it in his eyes, he a fan for life. And he said court size. Sports guy, if you know me, I'ma say fly. How I cross you over like when they had AI. I still the ball, I ain't ask you, may I? Not at my house, the Kimbe. I ain't gotta try. Maxie for the 3, he try and win. They don't want the time. B try and win. I don't wanna see that boy cry. I live by the gun. I'ma shoot. I don't wanna die. They eat, sleep Sixers. You should know that it's game time. Avanzo, this shit wavy.
Welcome to Eat Sleep Sixers Report Card Show, everybody. We are excited to wrap up. Well, it's not excited to wrap up the season because that's kind of sad, but we're excited to review how the season was overall and give you our takes on how we think each of our players, coach, and owners have scored this season. So I'm here with BG.
Yep.
What's up, what's up?
Yep.
215 Sports Guy and
Hello.
Sixers fan for life, who kind of looks like the Magic 8-Ball right now, not gonna lie.
He does.
This is a weird one for us because we usually give y'all mid-season report cards, so it's easy to judge how a person did in the first semester and how we did overall for the year and balance that out. But we didn't do a mid-season report card show this year. So many people in and out of the lineup. So many people hurt. It was just hard. We traded so many people. It was hard to grade half the roster. So we didn't have one this year because of so much turnover in Philadelphia. But damn it, we damn sure going to do one for the end of the season.
Right.
Trust and believe we're going to do one for the end of the season. So y'all ready? Y'all just want to jump right into it?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Who I want to hear from first? You know what? I want to start the show off with a bang, so I'm gonna start off with Carl. Carl, what you got about KJ for me? Tell me how you graded KJ's season this year.
Young kid came here. I didn't know a hell of a lot about him, but when he got time, I did realize that he has a tremendous heart, tremendous motor. He has a skill set to come off a bench in a rotation in the NBA. Why not ours? I would love to see more of him. I would like to give him a C because, we don't know. He didn't get a consistent playing time.
I'll agree with your grade, and I would have probably gave him like a C+. I think he was better than I thought he would be. So therefore, I think I have to give him a C+ because he excelled at the role at times when he was in the position. I'm not grading him as if I wanted him to get an A. He needed to score 30 points a game, but I would go with like a C+ in the role that he played. I'll give him a C+.
I'm gonna say KJ came to us in that Harden trade, right? And man, that man did not get any time on the court till we started getting some injuries and illnesses and stuff. Then he came out there. I'm going to say he really showed us some athleticism, which is something that this team has really lacked. And I like to see it. I think he needs development, but I give him a solid C+.
Okay, John.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to ride the wave. Because of the lack of playing time that kid got, and a lot of the players that did play on this team that were sitting on that side of the bench played a lot because of the injuries that we were bamboozled with all season. So I'm gonna sit there with a C+ as well.
Cool.
It sounds like solid across the board. Everybody think he's at least passed. He at least got a C. Carl gave him a C, right, or a C-?
C.
and everybody else agreed on a C plus. So it sounds like we all pretty much in agreement on KJ Martin. And speaking of lack of playing time, but not all, albeit he most of the time it was in regular clothes, we're gonna throw it right to Jose and see what he thinks about Robert Covington.
Yeah, you know, we know what we had from Robert Covington when he was here the first time, and we definitely didn't get to see any of that this time around. He was MIA for like 80% of the time that he was here. So, you know, if I gave him anything less than what I'm about to give him, anything more, you know, I can't give him anything more because he barely even played with it. See him in the playoffs or nothing. Um, I would have liked to see him because his defense was probably needed. We all know that he's a good defender. You know what I'm saying? He was good in this city. Everybody liked him. Rocco wasn't even an enemy here when he left or nothing. I don't feel like
Nah.
nobody had any bad blood with him. You know, I kind of was excited to have him back, and I wanted to see him play more, but that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna give him straight C because you know he ain't even play like that. So
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree slightly. I gotta go a little bit lower. Availability has to play a part in it. And you agree, and availability just wasn't available. So I can't say you passed the class that I didn't see one. You can't show up to a couple of classes and expect to pass. So I don't want to give him an F because I do think him being on the bench most of the time was good. So I'm gonna go with a D.
Okay, let's see. Rocco. I was so excited when he came back to us with that trade for Harden because I've always been a bit of a Rocco fan, not gonna lie. He did not get a lot of minutes before he was injured, and then he had a mystery injury, and they kept it on the low for pretty much the whole season long. And then they kept hitting at him coming back and then being like, it's like just kidding, which was kind of annoying. But that's more on management than it is on Rocco. I agree with BG. You can't give him a score higher than D because he wasn't available when we needed him at all. But D for defense. And
Yeah.
we love you, Rocco. Please don't
Yeah,
judge me.
I'm not giving you a D and happy that I'm giving you a D. It's just I gotta state the facts, and you just weren't available. So if you ain't show up to class, I can't see myself giving you higher than a D. What you think, Carl?
It's really an incomplete grade for me as well. You know, just didn't see enough of him out here in this system with this team. Can't really judge him off the pass because the pass is the pass. So, you know, I'll have to give him a C minus to a D plus in between there. Um, we know his capability of what he could have done, but we didn't see it. So, yeah,
All right,
D. You'll get
a
a
D?
solid D. You'll get a
Okay.
solid.
Hey yo.
Hey, yeah.
But yeah, I was very surprised at Jose's grade, but he was the official grader for him. He was the official grader for him. So we'll say that Jose believes you got a C. I'm gonna go next, man. Ricky Council. Ricky Council, man. We got a 22-year-old that's 6'6", averaged 5.4 points a game, played 32 games, didn't start not one game this season. He only averaged 9 minutes a game, shot 48% from the field, 37% from three. I like that number. And 75% from the free throw line. The only thing that's alarming to me is he only averaged 1.4 rebounds. We're a bad rebounding team, and I was petitioning a lot in the playoffs. Hey, we can't grab rebounds because we don't have no go-get-it guy. Put Ricky Council in, but by the looks of it, maybe I was wrong. That's alarming. And the fact that he had one block in the whole season. I like to think when I look at this roster, he might be the most athletic, if not second, third at worst, most athletic person. I expect more than one block, albeit he only played 32 games and only played 9 minutes a game. But 32 blocks, I just don't like that number being so low. But I like the future of Ricky Council. I like the minutes that he played. When he played, I knew he was out there. Because of that, his grade's actually high for me. I got a B minus for his role. I'm not saying B minus if somebody got graded lower than him that he's better than them. I'm just saying in his role, B minus from BG.
I'm going to have to give him a C. I just, you know, I didn't see enough. I would like to have seen enough, but just never really got the full package. So pause, no Diddy. So I never really seen the full array of his game. Whether that was a coaching thing or whether that was just he wasn't, fully, you know, immersed in this offense and in this system. So
Bluetooth connected.
yeah, there's that.
I don't know. Ricky started the season he on a two-way contract, so he played a lot in the beginning with the Blue Coats. And when it was his time to come up here, he even when he wasn't playing, he was always energetic, cheering on the team on the sidelines. I mean, guys need that. He was a great bench guy, came into the game with so much energy, made plays in the clutch with no fear whatsoever. I mean, I am excited to see what happens with this kid. It sounded like when Daryl Morey gave his press conference, his end of the season press conference, sounded like C4 is still going to be with us next season. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited about that. So I'm going with BG, man. BG, I feel you. I'm going with that B minus, and I think it could be higher. But for his role, man, he definitely showed up and showed out whenever he was given the opportunity, and he wasn't afraid of the moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was happy. I got to see what I think was his best game against San Antonio in person. I love that. I enjoyed that game 100%. And mainly, I mean, Maxey had 50, but Ricky Council played his ass off that game. So
Yeah,
Jose, what you got for Ricky Council?
Yeah, we can't grade him on what he did on D League, and he didn't really play much here. The energy was good, so yeah, it's kind of tough. These guys that really got to play to be giving them guys grades, man. And I really thought I was gonna be able to see him when all the injuries occurred, and we still didn't get to see him.
even in the playoffs, man. That was crazy.
So again, I gave Rocco a high score because he was here before, and you know what I'm saying, and we know what he used to play like, but that's not the case with Ricky Council. But I did like what I did see in a little bit, so I'm not just gonna give him a D or nothing like that. So he's gonna get D plus from me.
A D plus?
Yeah,
D plus.
yeah, you get D plus.
But
He said what he said.
you said what you said. Jen, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to you, to your favorite backup center. Favorite backup center. I will address him by his government name as introducing him. But when you talk about him, you can call him whatever you want. We going straight to Mo Bamba.
All right, so
No Bamba?
This
You
was
said no Bamba?
he said Mo. This was our big free agent signing,
Yes.
right? It's a big
Supposedly.
free agent signing, and we already had how many bigs on our roster at that time?
About
Oh.
2, 3, 4.
Well, no, we had Embiid, we had Philip with an F.
Philip, what
We
a
had Montrez. This was before he got injured. We had Paul Reed.
Yeah,
And
we had
then
a lot
here we
going on.
go. Let's get another big. So he barely played at all season, really. And when he did play, this man, how do you not get, he's 7 something? How do you not get rebounds? How do you not dunk a basketball? I mean, this is like fundamental center big guy stuff that he just couldn't do. So I'm sorry, Mo. It's a no for me, and you're getting a D.
Hey,
Jen, I'm going to follow right up with that same
Where
grade.
are you, Carl? I see the top of your hat. There you go.
I'm going to follow right up with that same grade. This kid has a lot of potential as far as skill set wise. He could be a lot of things, but he's not. And he just doesn't have that it factor and knowing where to be on the court. Fundamentally, he's just not there. So I don't see him going much further than a third string center. That being said, I give him a D. He just never got over that hump for me.
I'm slightly in disagreement with y'all. I agree with all y'all points, and I wish that he was more than what we got from him. But I do appreciate his ability to block shots. He never shied away from that. He never really was a rebounding monster for the Sixers this year. But I mean, he contested shots. He played hard, and a lot of times he had some threes that I didn't know even had that in his bag. So for his role again, I'm not judging him on the same scale as Embiid, so that's why I won't give him a D. I'll say in his role, you got work to do. C
Yes, sir.
minus, C minus, C minus, C minus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a C minus as well. I really wasn't impressed with anything he did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah. I didn't like any of the things that he did on the court. I thought he was going to bring more, and I was disappointed. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that being said, we was talking about the Sixers backup center. So let's move up a notch and go to everybody's favorite man to get it out the mud. Paul Reed. Carl, can we see you in the camera for at least this segment?
Paul Reed, a guy that I had high hopes for getting a stationary role in the rotation, knowing where he was going to come in at, who he was going to come in for. And, you know, inconsistency is the word that comes to mind with him this year. Just a lot of highs and lows, and, you know, it's going to keep him from obtaining that level of, you know, being a vet, you know, somebody you could count on something about. He's still a young guy out there in a lot of ways. So I like to give Paul Reed a D. I'm a tough grader.
Ooh!
I'm gonna give him a D this
Did you
year.
hear that, America? This
I'm gonna
Paul
give him a
Reed
D.
stand just gave him a D.
He put the D in mud this year. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, all I see from Paul Reed is just, I don't know, like a wild horse when he goes out there. He looks out of control every time he's on the court. That's all I see from him every time. He doesn't look like he gets any better. He's just the same old Paul Reed. I've been rooting for him because I kind of like the dude. I don't like him as much as Carl, but he ain't bad. But I wish he could have done better on this team. But I'm gonna give him a D, and that's it.
For me, I think Paul Reed actually may have taken a bit of a step back this season. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, BG, but I think that if he didn't take a step back, he definitely didn't improve his game. I didn't see him add anything to his bag. I didn't see him step up in those moments when Embiid was out for that long stretch. I mean, we had to put KJ Martin in center sometimes because, or Marcus Morris back when we had him, because Paul Reed just, you can't trust him. So, well, I'm not going to give him a D. I am going to give him a C.
Okay.
And I want him to be better because you know what? Again, in that Morey press conference, we learned that he's likely going to be back next year. So, I hope he puts a work in this summer and becomes a serviceable backup big because right now, he ain't it. He ain't it.
Yeah, I think he did put the work in this past summer. I think he put the work in thinking he was being coached under Doc Rivers again. And it was just weird. His positioning on this team when he was the backup felt right. Then he became a starter because Embiid went down. Then it was like, well, you still bring that energy off the bench, so let's let Mo Bamba start. I don't think Paul Reed was given a fair shake. The one thing he did do was play all 82.
That's right. He did play all 82, so he was available. Good for you. But I agree with what teacher just said right here, where he has a low IQ b-ball
and that's
player.
that's the thing. I agree with you, Jim, when I say I don't think he took a step forward, but I wouldn't say he took a step back. Just a different role. Didn't have the season I expected out of Paul Reed, but 19 minutes, 7.3 points, and 6 rebounds. I mean, when you're backing up Embiid, I mean, how much do we really expect from our backup center? So I'm gonna still give him a passing grade with a C as well.
Next.
Oh, that was it. Oh, my bad.
Oh, did
I forgot.
Jose go?
Yeah, Jose went.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went.
Well, Jose, get ready. Get locked and loaded for North Philadelphia's own.
Let's go.
He was acquired at the trade deadline. Not really. We just picked him up afterwards and he signed. And he was a good addition to this team. Kyle Lowry, what you got for me, Jose?
He wasn't bad, but the problem that I got is that the Sixers organization just keep bringing back dinosaurs, man. Like, I would have liked Kyle Lowry 6 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that he was just boo-boo. He brought some energy, some leadership. He didn't control the ball bad. You know, helped out where he needed to. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he was out there just straight up doing absolutely nothing. So he did give effort. I can't give him a really low grade for that. It was just, you know, he came in half the season. They gave the keys to the city to another Philadelphia native, and then they brought in another Philadelphia native right after that. I like Kyle Lowry back in the day when he was with Houston and them. I don't like Kyle Lowry right now, though. Not for this team. I don't think that he was what we needed in this team. But he did help out. So as much as I give him as a C minus.
There's a lot of different layers of this Lowry acquisition that you could look at. He came in here.
Wake your head up, man. What's going on? Where you been?
It's acid
Got a
reflux
headache or
issue
something?
going on right now. It's just a
Oh,
lot.
okay.
He's a hometown kid. He came here. I felt like he was overplayed a bit much by Nick Nurse. I don't think that's the role for him at this age. I think he's more of a 25, 23 minutes guy. You know, I think he got overplayed, and therefore he burnt out towards the end when we needed him in a lot of different areas. The two guard lineup, I never really liked the two point guard lineup. I never really liked it that much. I don't feel like it did him a service. So I'm gonna have to give him a C though, you know, because he played a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think he had an average year. I think, but like you said, because of those early season, I mean not early season, but early acquisition, right in February when we picked him up, he was forced to play a lot of minutes in games, and forced to automatically have to load manage and not be on the court as much. I mean, so it was hard to judge him, but I will say I did like what he brought as far as a leader on the court, as far as somebody we can have in the fourth quarter that can kind of calm the team down, somebody who's going to get in there and do the dirty stuff, going to take charges, going to try to get rebounds even though he's undersized. And because he brought that type of grit, I think I have to grade him on the same scale I was going to grade Pat Bev on. And I think because of the extra stuff that he brings to the team, I got to go at least a B because of the extra stuff. The extra stuff. His playoff performance lowered his grade to a B, honestly. I might have given him an A because of the little stuff, but because of his playoff performance, it dropped down to a B, maybe a B minus for me.
I'm not gonna mince words. I did not want Kyle Lowry on this team. Y'all know that if you watch the show. I thought he was too old, too small. He surprised me though. You know what? He really did surprise me because that man had never seen a charge that he would not take. He sacrificed his body constantly for this game, and he brought that kind of like real dog mentality that this team was lacking after losing a bunch of guys earlier in the season. So, while I don't think he should have been in a starting role, I think as a starter, I would have to give him a C. But I think as a guy coming off the bench in that role, I would have given him a higher grade.
Mhm.
But that's not his fault. That's Nick
Yeah.
Nurse's fault.
If he was able to be thrusted right, if they're going to say Pat Bev for Kyle Lowry, hey, we're just going to swap him out perfectly, same minutes, same role, then
Mhm.
maybe it would have ended a little differently. But here we are. Jim, right back to you. Another point guard, another guy acquired late in the season. Cam Payne, Mr. Energy. Cam Payne.
Campaign got traded. Campaign did not get traded. Campaign came to us in when? Free agency?
Right after
No,
the trade deadline, he was a free agent.
right after the trade deadline. Oh no, that's right. So
It
that
was
was
right after the All-Star break. He played the first, him and Kyle played that first game right off the plane. Right off the plane. They played no, not him and Kyle. Him and Buddy Hield. I apologize. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Him and Buddy Hield killed the first game of the season that they played with us.
right. So we got him right at the trade deadline. We gave up a bunch of people. Nobody specifically for him that I know of.
No,
Who'd we give to? Was that Daniel House or
that
Marcus
probably was.
Morris? Was it Marcus Morris who went? I don't know. I don't know how we end. I can't remember the way exactly we got Campaign, but I had no idea who Campaign really was. I didn't see him play a lot of minutes. I know he's got a janky 3-point shot that he shoots kind of sideways, but man, that thing is money. It is money in the bank. Every time he comes out, he is an energy guy. He is fun to watch. He is a spark off the bench that we need. And I'm going B-, solid B for Campaign because we needed him, man. When Buddy Hield was not shooting, brought Campaign in, and we got what we needed from him. So again, another guy not afraid of the moment, and I hope he comes back. To be honest, I really do.
Man, what can I say? Campaign, man. I felt like he was great from first game here. I feel like he fit in. He served the need for energy off the bench, and he kept that same energy throughout the season. Coming off the bench. I got to get this guy a B+. I hope he comes back. I feel like the bench needs him. I feel like he fits the city. Very charismatic guy, So shout out to Campaign. Solid season for the Sixers.
Just let me correct myself. We did trade Pat Bev for him. I forgot.
Okay.
Well, that was that trade. Okay. And we were all bummed about it at first because we love Bev.
I bought every belt I had in my closet for the show.
You
We
definitely
really,
did.
really loved Bev, and we didn't. We did give Campaign a chance though, and he proved his place on this team. So, anyway, enough for me. Go ahead, Jose.
Jose?
Oh, damn. I didn't even realize I was muted. I started speaking. I didn't even realize I was muted. I like what he brought to this team. I didn't like that we lost Pat Bev. So I'm on the same boat with BG on this one. I didn't bring all my belts because BG stole mine too. Just so he could have that many belts on the show for Pat Bev tour that he didn't get to talk about. But I like his energy. He brought a lot of energy, and when he did came, I don't like his shot. I'm agree with Jen on that. It's weird. The worst shot next to Sean Marion that I ever saw in my life. But yeah, I'm for his energy. I'm gonna give him a B-.
All right. I like that. I'm gonna go to somebody. He should be spoke about later on in the show, but due to injuries, man, oh man, Anthony Melton only played 38 games this season, 26 minutes, averaged 11 points, 3 assists, 1.6 steals, 83% from the free throw line, 36% from three, 38% from the field. He did what he was supposed to, what we expect from D Melt when he was out there. The only thing is he wasn't out there very often. So again, because I graded Cove, availability is a part of it. Availability is definitely a part of your grade. And D Mel, I'm not blaming you for anything. I mean, a back is a back. I know you were actually injured. It's not like you was just milking it. But for me, D Mel got to drop down to a C minus. Damn, might be a D. Might be a D. He's right on the cusp of a D and a C minus. So I got to go with the latter and go with a D, man. The availability just wasn't there. So sorry. In your role that we needed you to play, you didn't pass. Sorry. I got to go with a D.
Yeah, I gotta agree with the same thing. And you know, I feel like we needed him. He got good defense, played good defense against a lot of good players. But the reason why I'm gonna give him a D is because he flat out disappeared. It ain't his fault that he get injured, but he disappeared. So he gonna take a D for that.
Most definitely. I'm gonna carry on with the D, man.
No
Because
Diddy. Like
no
what?
Diddy, no Diddy. We definitely didn't see enough of him this year, and availability is the best ability. Like BG said, we got to see you out there. You got to claim your word. For somebody's always gunning for your spot in the NBA. Keep yourself healthy. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah,
All right.
I,
Well,
I'm I'm just to slightly disagree with y'all in that Melt was much more of he affected the game much more when he played it early in the season than Rocco did. Plus, he did battle to come back a few times and just didn't work out for him. I love D Melt, heart and soul. I'm giving him a C minus. It's a
I,
little
I
bit
was
above.
I was right there with you. I was right there with you. I just 38 games out of 82 hurts my feelings, man. Hurts my feelings. But Carl, you wanted him, you got him. You wanted him, you got him. He showed up to the final exam and he damn near got every question right on the final exam. But let's not forget the knucklehead he was from February to June. I mean to May. So go ahead and tell me what you think about your boy Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield, my man, got here with a hell of a resume of being a shooter and just never showed that capability here. Whether it was spacing, whether it was coaching, who knows? But it didn't happen. It happened in the last game he played, but we can't count that against your grade. I'm gonna have to give him a D because we just didn't see it. That's my grade.
I always liked Buddy Hield. He was one of those guys you always eye on another team and you think, I'd like to have that guy on my team. But as I watched him over the years, I noticed that he was pretty inconsistent. And that's what we saw when he joined our team is inconsistency. He started off real strong and then he just flatlined. But man, he really helped us out at the end. So I'm just going to give him an average. Let's see. He gets the average.
Yeah,
Hope he.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure what he's gonna do next season, but we'll see.
I was really hard on Buddy Hield the majority of the time he was here because it was so up and down. But when I look at this stat line for the season, just for the Sixers, for 32 games, with him, he averaged 12.2 points. I mean, that's not bad. And he shot 38% from three. We bought him here for that. Free throws, points, and 3-point percentage. So I mean, he did that. So I mean, he's a 40% shooter career, and he shot 38 this year. I mean, did we really get a bad buddy, or did we just expect too much? I think we expected too much, but because it was such of a roller coaster, I'll say you passed, but not beautifully. You get a C from me as well. Jose?
Yeah, Buddy Hield was brought here to shoot the nets off the court because he's supposed to be the second best player behind Steph Curry. He started shooting 3 points. That wasn't the case. I wish we could have got a lot more from him, especially because the injuries, and I felt like he could have contributed more, and I don't feel like he did that. I mean, he had some games where he, you know what I mean? I don't feel like it was enough. I don't know if I can get more than I'm gonna C plus because he had some games where he did shoot some stuff, but I can't give no more than that, man. He gets C+ for me.
All right. All right. I like it. I like it. Well, I'm going right back to you, Jose. Everybody's favorite ghost.
Oh my God.
Everybody's favorite ghost. What do you got for me for Kelly Oubre?
Listen, you know, I be joking about the whole Casper and the Ghost stuff, but his energy, I love it. He come on this court and you need that kind of energy, man. He wasn't lazy. He didn't just stand around, sit in the corner like a lot of other people did when they come to this team and wait to shoot 3-pointers. He moved around. I feel like when Batum was there, he was doing it too. But we're talking about Kelly Oubre here as far as cutting to the basket, down low, catching them passes, dunking the basketball. Yeah, I feel like he dunked the ball more than anybody here since Ben Simmons. So he get B- for me.
Kelly Oubre was one of the brightest spots of the Sixers this year, and a definitely underachieving year. One thing I will say is we found somebody that I think can be here for a few more years, can help this team for years to come, and he just brings an ability and a talent that the Sixers just haven't had since guys like Iguodala. Like, we haven't had somebody that can score, defend. He's gonna attack the rim. I can shoot the three. Like, he can do so much that I love what I saw out of him. So I'm going with a B+, man. B+ for Kelly Oubre for me.
Listen, Kelly has won me over throughout this season with his toughness, his aggression, his his hard-nosed attitude. Man, he has a blue chip swag that the city fell in love with, and I think he fell in love with the city as well. I love to see Kelly back. I love for the Sixers to definitely lock him up. He's a guy that they can grow with Embiid and Maxey and be a part of this future here in Philadelphia. So definitely a B for my guy.
Hold on, John. Before you go, real quick, I gave him a B-. I want to upgrade that to a B because he gave all the referees the B word that one game. So yeah, he got the B for me.
Just for that, huh? Just for that.
Because you're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and your mama's a
Oh.
bitch, and your daddy's a bitch, and your grandma's a bitch.
Everybody.
Okay?
Yeah, I upgraded him to a B.
Talking to all you Knicks fans in the chat.
Oh, y'all too.
I wasn't gonna give him no satisfaction, man. They should be worried. They should be worried about the Pacers. How you come in talking y'all just lost? Like, I just don't understand. Like, how you yeah, y'all there and we not, but like, you came here to talk. Y'all should be thinking about the Pacers, don't you think? You still worry about us? Why you still worry about us? I'm glad you're here, though. I'm glad you're here, man. Shout out Jalen Brunson. I like him. He can hoop.
Okay.
But go ahead, Jen. Tell us what you got for Oubre.
I love Kelly. I've loved Kelly since he first joined our squad. He was superstar, that he got hurt, and it was a bummer. It took him a little while to come back from injury. And then he was basically our third option for like the entire end of the season, which was amazing. If you look at contracts and you look at a Tobias Harris contract and then you look at a Kelly Oubre contract, you think, okay, so this guy's on the vet minimum and he's playing his butt off. And then you have a guy like Tobias Harris who's making $40 million a year and he's doing the absolute least. How can you not give a guy like Kelly Oubre a strong grade for all he did for us this season? So he gets a B+, and I really hope he comes back. But somebody's going to pay him, and I don't know if it's going to be the Sixers because they like to screw us.
Hopefully the city had a good enough impression on him and he just wants to be with a winner, because more than likely somebody that's going to pay him might be a team that's just not going to compete. Maybe he wants to compete, albeit we didn't compete this year technically because we lost in the damn first round due to injuries. But maybe he wants to be a winner. Maybe the city had enough of a touch on him and he wants to stick around. But I'll tell you who I want to stick around. Believe it or not, I want Nicholas Batum to stick around, y'all. I know it sounds crazy. He's 35.
You got to ask his wife.
He's 35 years old, but he's 6'8", and he's 6'8" and does things that we don't get out of other guys. Do y'all realize that Nicholas Batum became our best defender
I know. The thing
at
is, though,
35?
I think he gave us already a little like goodbye thing on Twitter because it sounded like he was saying goodbye.
Well, I
But
don't care. I don't care about his future. I care about this season that just passed, and I love what Nico brought to this team. This is what we wanted out of Matisse Thybulle, and this is what we wanted out of Danny Green. This is what we wanted out of PJ Tucker. This is what we thought we were getting it, and I think that's what we got out of Batum, man. We got a guy who's in his 15th season and looked like he was maybe 29, 28 at times. Like he was guarding the team's best players almost day in and day out throughout the injuries that we had, albeit it was a rocky start once we got him in a trade. He was in and out of the lineup because of issues at home. But when he was there, he showed up, man. He was a vet that we needed in the locker room. One, he definitely is a glue guy to me. He was one of them guys that would do the little things. Best inbounder in the NBA, Nicholas Batum gets a B from me. A B in the role that he played for us, he gets a B.
and I love that you say that, BG, because you were like not a fan.
I was almost done. I was almost
was-
completely done.
He was not a fan of Batum, but you know what? It's just those little intangibles that really
Right.
don't show up on the stat sheet so much. The
He shot,
inbound.
he shot 40% from three.
Well, that's great. And you know how he does it? It's like he doesn't even bring his hands down, and he
Yeah, every
just
time
shoots
he catch,
that
he
shit.
catch,
It's
he catch that
beautiful.
thing and let it fly.
Yes, he does, and he's a fabulous defender, and he's got his head on a swivel. He's got tons of energy out there, and I don't know, great inbounder, of course, and great veteran presence for this Sixers squad. I'm also going to give him a B. I think he was the best. I said this at the time and I don't think anybody really felt this way, but I thought he was the best thing to come from that Harden trade.
I hear you. I'm gonna
Because
have
if you
to-
think about who we got for the Harden trade, it was like who? Morris,
Morris.
Batum,
Right.
KJ,
Uh-huh.
and somebody else. And Morris left. KJ never really, he never got much time. And then got Batum. So he was my favorite from that. Oh,
It's mighty funny for a guy who was.
Rocco was also in that trade. Sorry.
Yeah, it's mighty funny for a guy who was rumored to want debating retirement throughout the whole transition of coming here. Batum definitely gets a C from me just for being a jack of all trades and turning it up in the time we needed the most. He stepped up big in the time where we needed Tobias to step up. He stepped up in that role. So I definitely have to give him a C for that. I give him a C because without Embiid in the lineup, I didn't see the same things that I saw
That's a
from
good
him.
point.
With
He did
Embiid.
drop off a bit without
Yeah.
Embiid.
He dropped off heavy duty. So that's my late for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that when it comes to me grading Batum, I feel like he played better when Embiid was on there and everybody saw it, everybody smelled it, everybody called him out on it. Wish he could have did that when Embiid wasn't on the court. Maybe would have won a little bit more games. We wouldn't have dropped down so much in the standings. I'm not blaming him, because there was a whole lot of other reasons why we dropped down in the standings. But when Embiid was on the court, he played very well, and I gave him his props when I talked about Oubre as far as cutting to the basket, doing the cuts and getting those dunks down low. When nobody else was really down there and Embiid was out there in the 3-point line. So I'll give him a B.
All right, man. I've been dreading this moment since I decided that this was going to be the last time I'm going to talk about you. I didn't know if I wanted to write down something, if I wanted to just come off the top of my head and show my raw emotion, or did I even want to give you effort? Tobias Harris, I'm going to give you the same thing you gave Philadelphia in Game 6. Not much. Have a good rest of your career. Because you're 31 years old, you will get another contract. You will get another contract. But I just can't believe you went out like that. I can't believe you left like that. And no matter what I was going to grade you before Game 6, Game 6 was like that icing on the cake of 4 years of just being hopeful that you would just give us your all when it mattered. And you just didn't. So with that being said, Tobias, and what I needed you to be, you get a D. You have to get a D for me. You did not pass this season being a contract year, being a year where we need you to be ultra aggressive because of a freak incident that happened with Joel Embiid. We knew it was going to come, but we needed you to step up. And time after time, you let guys that I never thought were better than you look like they were better than you on the Sixers. So, good riddance, man. Good riddance. You got your money. I'm not judging it no more. You got what you got. See you next time we play you, whatever team signs you. A D from me. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this quick because I don't want to bash Tobias Harris because I got a lot of bad things to say about him, and I just don't want to take up too much time because we don't have that much time left. Big disappointment. You gonna get a D from me, boss.
Well, I don't mind taking up some time because it's the last time I'm going to talk about you, unless I'm making, reference to you on another team. Because, man, Tobias, we used to call you Mr. Consistent. You remember we used to call him
I
Mr.
remember the
Consistent?
time. I remember the
This
time.
year,
man.
he was the most consistently inconsistent player on the Sixers team. That man, he would never sacrifice his body. He was not a dog. He would disappear, play disappearing acts in the second half. All the things that we didn't like about Tobias in the years, they just culminated in this just shit show of a basketball player making $40 million. And it's disgusting to me, really, especially in that game 6 when he gave us an absolute freaking donut. A donut in a game 6 is inexcusable. When it just, I can't get past it. The
Jay.
man, the whole time Joel was out with injury, you had your time to step up because you wanted to, give these subtle digs like, you weren't getting the ball enough. Well, you had plenty of time to get the ball this season, buddy, with all the injuries, and you didn't do shit with it. So I'm sorry, but I'm giving you a F. You failed the Sixers. Please go on to somewhere else.
Jen, I'm going to have to give him a D minus. I just feel like he failed us miserably this year on a contract year. On a year where, like you just mentioned, you had a hell of an opportunity to showcase your talents for a big contract. And you failed that miserably. You failed yourself. You failed your dad. You failed Philadelphia. You failed your teammates. You failed. A D minus for Tobias Harris. I'm over.
Yeah, good. Like I said, like I ended mine with good riddance, man. I'm over it. I don't have any more energy to give the Tobias Harris situation. He is not in our future, but one person that is in our future, Jen, the most improved player in the NBA this season, first time All-Star, Tyrese Maxey. Jen, what you got for Tyrese?
BG just stole my thunder.
I stole your
that's
thunder
cool.
by introducing him.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be putting that into my grades.
You still can do that.
Tobias Harris is still in my head. Okay, Tyrese Maxey, y'all. He is 23 years old. He is a first-time All-Star, most improved player, multiple 50-point games, fast as lightning out there, excellent three-point shooter, excellent free throw shooter, has the worst whistle in the NBA. We're hoping that's going to improve. When he and Joel were playing together, they were the best duo in the NBA. So, what can I give Maxey? He's probably the only one on the team that's going to get it. I'll give you an A, Maxey. I'll give you an A.
First A of the show, y'all. First
I
A of the
give you
show
an
goes to
A
Tyrese.
for All-Star.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Jen, I love Tyrese Maxey, man. The kid has such a bright future. We seen it from the day he was drafted, the emotion that he had on his face, and I think he meant it. Y'all will not regret this, and I haven't regretted him being. Think about how many draft picks we regretted, and just in just the last, let's go 20 years, and think about how many draft picks we've regretted, and this kid has finally given us a ray of light. Hey, y'all not gonna regret this. He promises 1% better every day, and he's shown it. Tyrese Maxey, continue to do great things, continue to get better. He has to get an A from me. Hey.
Listen, we're not going to spend too much time. A plus 4.0, whatever you want to call it. Tyrese Maxey has gotten better every year he has played, and he has guaranteed that. I'm looking at what can he improve for next season, and I'm starting to poke holes in this game. Man, it's not a lot of big gaps. The kid is solid, man. He's solid. A future MVP, A plus for my boy.
That's bold. That's bold to say the MVP word.
Future MVP for sure.
That's very bold to say the MVP word.
Hey, that was bold of them to say he's a face of the NBA.
Hey man, he's a franchise.
Yeah,
he is a franchise, but let's be clear that all of the really, really good players is all damn near 27 and under right now.
Almost definitely.
He's in a great era right now. I like it. I'm not saying that he won't compete. It's just that's a very bold statement. I like it. I like you going bold with that.
Thank you.
I like you going bold with that.
All right, this is my turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Tyrese Maxey for me, because of everything that all of you guys already said prior to me talking. He said he was gonna get better every year. He delivered. He won most improved player of the league this year. Obviously, his work ethic is being awarded and it's being recognized all over the league. Not just us, so we don't sit here and sound biased when it comes to Tyrese Maxey because everybody's noticing. He was trending all over Twitter. He had 3 50-point games. Young kid like that. That's pretty awesome. Not only that, but he also made an all-star team this year, and that's pretty commendable as well. So I'm gonna give him an A plus.
I like it. Let's move on to now officially the former MVP of the NBA, one Joel Hans Embiid. Carl, you got the big fella.
Let's talk about it. Joel Embiid, another player who I feel like can be in the most improved category because he's improved this game this year. And for things I think he improved his game on is obviously decision making, passing the ball. He's gotten much better at that. I like to thank Nick Nurse offense for that. I don't know what happened in the playoffs to that offense, that system, that free flowing, a system that had a lot of bodies flowing in it. But hopefully that comes back, and hopefully we'll get guys in here who can knock down shots and help out a little bit more. So Joel Hans Embiid, you get that A plus, my boy, for the time you did play.
I don't know. I felt some type of way that I didn't get Embiid. I got Embiid the past couple of years. I guess we get to split it around, spread it around.
I always give you Embiid. I thought this year. I thought this year was the best year to give you Maxey. I felt like because of Maxey's emergence as a star, who better to talk about him than the star at East Sleep Sixers than Jen? So I felt like this was the year to give you. You see how I'm giving you the best player every year. I gave you Embiid every other year, and Maxey was probably our best player this year because of Embiid's availability.
So let's talk about the first half of the season. Joel Embiid was going for would have been definitely his second straight MVP year. He was the scoring champion for the third year in a row. He was Eastern Conference Player of the Month, Eastern Conference Player of the Year, playing 3/4 of a game and being the scoring champ. I mean, the sky was the freaking limit for this man. Unfortunately, he suffered a freaking injury and we lost him for 20 games. So again, best availability is availability. I can't give Joel the A plus that I normally would give Joel because he wasn't here for a significant portion of the season. So I have to give him a B.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jen. This is hard because if you only judge the first half of the season, I think he's ungradable. Like you can't get higher than an A plus plus. Like how high can you grade somebody who is playing better than their MVP season? Like how do you grade somebody who's averaging more points than minutes? Somebody that's playing 3/4 almost weekly because he just like, oh, food's done. Food's done. Go ahead. We done with it. But Jen, like you said, availability is the best ability, and he's just shown time and time again that he can't be available at all times when we need him. So because he can't be available, that lowers his grade. And for the first time, I think I'm giving Joel Embiid something less than an A plus, and I'm gonna go B minus. I'm gonna go B minus only because I can't drop him down to a C because damn it, that man went out there and played with one eyeball and one leg. So B minus because of the constant non-availability.
All right. You know, this is like you beat the dead horse, he gets resuscitated, run back to life, resurrected, all of that. It's still a dead horse. We get the same thing from Embiid, and I'm not talking bad about him. To me, he played better. Like BG said, he played better than last year, but he got injured again, and for the reason that he came back and was, he gave us all his effort. I feel like he gave it all that he can give in the playoffs. But still, it was just not enough. It sucked that we slid down in the standings, and he was injured for way too long, and it didn't help us get past the first round. I can't even give him A minus, none of that. I'm gonna give him B plus because I don't want to be too critical on the big guy because we all know that Embiid is going to be Joel Embiid. He was playing better than last year, which he won the MVP. And I feel like if he would have played long enough this year, he would have won the MVP for the second straight year. But because he didn't play that many games due to his injuries, and I'm sick of it, I'm gonna give him a B plus. I'm not even gonna give him a B. I'm not gonna be that bad on him. He's gonna get a B plus from me.
Oh man, I never thought I'd see the day nobody gave Joel Embiid an A. Oh wait, did Carl give him an A?
Carl gave him an A.
All
Yeah.
right, all right, all right. On to the heads of the snake. On to the heads of the snake. No Diddy. We're going to the coach, and we're going to the GM. We're gonna start off with the coach, Jose. Nick Nurse, what you got for me?
It sucks that you got to play the cards that you dealt. I really wanted to give this guy a good grade. Really good grade, a really good grade. I'm not giving him a bad grade. I'm not gonna give him a mediocre grade. I can't give him a good grade neither. I feel like he's in the same boat with Joel Embiid due to all the injuries and what he was able to do with the team that was given to him. He's not a bad coach. There was a lot of games where he did out coach good coaches that prior years we would have lost games due to lack of coaching. Um, he I'm not saying I want to see him again. I want to see him again. I hope the team is healthy and maybe he can get a higher grade from me. But right now, yeah, I'm gonna give him a B plus. Same thing I gave him B.
Jenny, what you think?
Okay, I think my expectations for Nick Nurse were too high. I'm not gonna. I don't think, like Jose said, I do not think he was a bad coach. However, there were often times when I thought he should have given younger guys a chance that he didn't give them a chance. And there times when he was playing kind of like the older, slower guys when we really needed the athleticism. I think some of his rotations along the way when Joel was out were real questionable. I don't know how I feel exactly about adjustments he made when we played the Knicks in the first round. So, I mean, those are the negatives. Positives, I think, he did a really good job with what he had because that was not what the team he was expecting to be coaching this year. Um, I don't know. I'll give him a B minus. I thought he was going to be an A plus coach, but I'm going to give him a B minus.
Yeah,
Maybe next year with a team like settled from the get go, he'll be better. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to follow up with that big, John. I seen the outlook of his offense and what it could be. Does he have all the pieces in place to run his offense? No. So I think you can't give him a grade right off without saying that. I think after this all season, especially with the flexibility that the Sixers and Daryl Morey have, I'm pretty sure he'll get the pieces that he wants. And we'll grade him properly next year, but I definitely think he gets a B.
I think it's hard. It's very difficult to grade him simply because I think about the fact that he coached about 8 different iterations of this team. He coached about 8 different iterations. He coached iterations with Reed as the starting center, Bomba as the starting center, KJ as the backup center. Like, it was, not to mention how many different lineups we had, the difference from the start of the season, the team that we had in December, the team we had in February, the team that we had when we ended the season. It was so many different iterations of this team. It's hard to grade them, but what I did not like is, I have to echo Jen, your rotations when it mattered, your lack of ability or your lack of willingness to give younger guys a shot. I just believe Ricky Council should have been out there a little bit more. And because you gave me you had too many Doc-ish moments, it lowers your grade a lot for me. I came into this thinking you were going to be an A plus coach. You were definitely thrown into a calculus class and that you weren't ready for, and so you did all right, but you didn't do as good as I wanted to do. So B minus for Nick Nurse, mainly because of his late season rotations. But I do understand it was hard to coach a team when you lose everybody damn near at some point. Only person that played every game was Paul Reed. So that makes it difficult. All right, man. It's his turn. The clock is ticking for one, Daryl Morey. Luckily, we are able to grade him right now because, he had a lot to do this season. So, Jen, is on you. Daryl Morey, what do you get for this season?
He had a lot to do this season, and I think I just don't. Every step of the way, we expected something exciting, and we didn't get it. So our free agency pickups, how much time did we spend talking about how we needed an athletic wing, right? We needed somebody serviceable to back up Maxi. We needed so many things we needed, and he got us Mo Bamba, and he got us Pat Beverly. Which is fine, Pat Bev's good, but then halfway through the season you trade him. So what is the point of that? Please tell me. The positive, he did get us Daryl Moore. I mean, he did get us Kelly Oubre as a vet minimum when nobody picked him up. So that was a good find. But trading the whole Harden thing is a blight on your record, buddy, because obviously something went on there that we don't know about. And I don't know. I can't say. I wasn't
Daryl
there.
Morey is a liar.
But yeah, man, you got called out. You got called out, buddy. And then so you did get rid of Harden without causing too much of a trauma to the team. Got rid of him early. We weren't stuck with a 2-5 situation, so that was good. But then again, got back guys that he didn't utilize, and then you ended up trading. So what was the point of that? Gave away Springer for relatively nothing, gave away Daniel House for nothing, got us Buddy Hield and sang his praises like, oh my goodness, he's going to put the fear of God into the opponents. Not really. Um, so you didn't address the need of the backup center after we started the season with 5 centers, which is bananas to me. So I don't know. Daryl, I got to give you a D, buddy. I got to give you a D. You did nothing for us. D for did nothing. Man, I think you kind of made the team worse. You didn't
Listen,
get rid of Tobias's
Yeah,
contract
I
when you should have.
I gotta agree with Jen. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm gonna cut you off. I gotta agree with Jen. Um, yeah, like you got rid of some players that I wish were still here. You didn't bring back um the ones that you did bring in when you got rid of some of the players that we wanted to stay weren't bad, but we wish some of those would have stayed. So the seesaw stood at an even level, which is not good enough because you got to move the needle here. You got to move the needle, and I don't feel like that's what he did. It wasn't enough. We got bounced out the first round again this year. I don't feel like you gave Embiid enough help that he needed on his team. I don't think you brought in the right players. We need a rebounding, and you brought in a bunch of shooters. I want a rebounding. Yeah, you're going to get a D from me.
I'll follow up with that D. I'm not even going to take long with it. He didn't fill the needs of the team. That's the job of a GM. He did not fill the needs. We didn't get a big man when we were supposed to get a big man. We didn't get a shooter when we were supposed to get a shooter. He just didn't fill the needs of the team. And I think the Harden situation was handled very messy in a way where it hurt our comeback on what we could receive in a Harden trade. Having it so publicly scrutinized, I think that's Darren Moore's job to kind of buffer that type of nonsense. And he let the mess get out there in the streets with him and Harden. And it got us back peanuts. And a player who's going to be in the Hall of Fame and can still produce, as we can see in the playoffs, at a pretty high level. D for Darren Moore.
Yeah, it's time to show and prove for me. This season, for this season only, I'll give you a C because you set us up for the future. You set us up for what we needed. You set us up to build your team. You set us up to build Nick Nurse's team. This is no longer a team full of guys that you're trying to figure out contracts, figure out who you want to bring. Now is a clean slate. We got the 16th pick. We got the 44th pick. We got between 55 to 64 million. Maxey gonna get a 5-year deal, $205 million extension.
Easy.
That's guaranteed. 5 years, $205 million. You already can count that out. So we're gonna have some money left over to sign some guys. So I'm gonna give you a C for now, but the clock is ticking now, Daryl Morey. I'm tired of people telling me how much of an evil genius you are and how you could do all this, that, and the third, and how you have yet to win anything. So where is it at? So you get a C for this season, but you are going to be judged under a very brighter microscope this upcoming season because this will be your team. This will be Nick Nurse's team. You have no more excuses. No more.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good one.
And to that point, I really need him to think very, very, very carefully about the acquisition of Paul George. Now, I don't think Paul George is going to want to leave California, to be honest with you. But since everybody in Twitter world seems to want to talk about it all the time, I don't think that's where you want to go with it, man. I think like a Mikal Bridges or somebody young and athletic. What?
You already teasing them with the free agency shows we're going to have for them. Don't
Okay.
tell them what to
It's coming. It's
All right,
coming.
all right.
We're talking about 2023, 2024.
All right,
Okay.
so it's going to be an interesting summer, y'all. We're going to definitely do some shows over the summer when we get our
Lock
news.
in. Lock in.
I think free agency starts when June 20th, something like that.
Absolutely.
So
Make sure y'all like the page and y'all could be notified when we have different shows coming up. Like we're gonna have a lot of shows this summer in the off season pertaining to the Sixers and the NBA as a whole. Anytime something comes up, you'll see one of our faces, if not all of us. So be sure to tune in to Eat Sleep Sixers. This is just the start of the rest of the season.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. And remember, damn, I knocked my light out. Y'all can still see me. I like this. When I wear white. When I wear white, I guess it brings me out. So I'm gonna leave the light off. But again, man, make sure y'all here all summer. This is not the end of the Sixers season just because the Sixers season is over. We're gonna be here. We got a lot of money. This is gonna be a very interesting summer for the Sixers. So be prepared for a wild roller coaster. Like I said, the clock is ticking, Daryl Morey. The clock is ticking.
Tick tock.
So teacher got game. So free agents start 6 p.m. on June 30th.
He's asking when is the free agency show?
And I'm telling you,
going?
It's going to be after free agency starts, which isn't until June 30th. But a lot of that stuff happens right away, right? Snap, snap, snap. So I would be looking for us, sometime prior, unless we get some big exciting news that we need to talk about.
Well, the big exciting news should be Maxey signing his extension before any of that stuff happens. The second he's allowed to, I think that needs to happen.
And you're definitely going to see us up here covering that live, like right after it happens. It's a momentous occasion for the Philadelphia 76ers franchise to lock up a player like Maxey. So,
for sure. Well,
great show.
Great season, y'all. Didn't end the way we wanted it, but we Sixers fans.
We're used to it.
We've heard this. We've gone through this one before, so it is what it is. Right. Everybody, look at the top of the screen, man. We on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Man, please don't forget to tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about the Eat Sleep Sixers podcast. Be here all summer with us, man. We about to start printing up this merch. Just wait on it. We're about to have y'all a lot of content this summer. So stay tuned and make sure that you are subscribed and got that notification bell hit on YouTube. Do I wet bar even though we don't got no games no more? I don't think I should wet bar.
I don't think you should wet bar. I don't think there's any wet barring, but because of this chat that I'm seeing, man, bleep the Knicks. That's what I gotta say about the Knicks.
You know what's
Go
crazy?
Pacers!
I was like, you know what? I hope the Knicks beat the Pacers, but they just so disrespect. Like, why talk crap? Like, y'all won already. Like, that's like beating somebody up and then going back the day after, like, I beat your ass. Like, okay.
And then going back a freaking month later. Come on, man.
Worry about the Pacers, y'all. Come on, y'all. We out of here, man. We'll see y'all back here for our next show. We will have some advertisements to let y'all know. So stay tuned. Let's go Sixers.
Peace out.
Let's go Sixers.
Let's go.